What is going on, guys? My name is Yasa, and today I'm going to be showing you my completely modded Lego Razorcrest. I've changed almost every aspect of this ship from the original Lego version, because while I did like the original Lego version, I feel like it was just a bit lacking in some areas, and it definitely did not have as many features and as much accuracy as I would have liked inside of the show. Now, I've made tons of different mods to this. I'm probably going to forget a few throughout the video, but I'm going to do my best to kind of give you a tour of what's going on. So the first thing you'll see is that the cockpit is completely changed from the original version. We'll take a look at that separately in a minute, but I also added these smooth pieces right here with the stickers on them from the Millennium Falcon set. I just think it adds a little bit of extra detail. These spring-loaded shooters are still here because I think that just adds some nice playability. I have some smoothed off tiles here as well. We got this escape pod I changed a little bit, where I just filled in the hole in the middle because I think it looked kind of ugly. I don't really think a ship should have a hole inside of it, and that way you can also have a minifigure inside of there without you being able to see them. So I have the scout trooper in there. It could be a prison cell or whatever you want to be, and you can get a little bit of a look into the inside with that taken off, but we'll put that back on for now. You can also see that towards the back I added some more smooth dot tiles and just these little details right here. The engines are pretty much exactly the same because I feel like Lego did a really good job with designing them. But then for the rest of the exterior, you can see I just moved up this one piece here a little bit because it looked a little bit weird when it was hanging. And then for this back part as well, I added just some more tiles to this because I didn't really like the fully studded look. I think Lego should try to go for a mix of studs and tiles, so I think that looks pretty nice. Now let's take a look at the cockpit. So for the cockpit of the ship, I actually fused these two larger molds together. In the original set, they came off separately. I just thought this would be an easier thing to do. They only attach on these two clips now, but it still has a pretty solid connection on there. And then you can also see I just used some studs on top techniques just to fuse these two together, and it still lifts off very easily. There's no handle or anything, but you can just pinch it and it will come right off. Now for the cockpit itself, I think this is the most impressive part of my build. I added an extra seat for Grief Karga, or whoever you want to put in there. There are just now 3 seats instead of the original 2. And then there's also a little slot for Baby Yoda where he has this ball joint piece that he can use as his little like ball, you know, from the show. There are lots of control panels. There are 6 total now, and there's plenty of room for the Mandalorian to sit up front. And I also smoothed off the bottom with some tiles because I didn't really like the studded tan look, so I could put them right back in there. There's also the second seat in the middle, and then again the third seat in the back, which is actually on a jumper plate, and it's a little bit elevated because if you just put it all the way at the back, there's not enough room for it. There is also some weapons back here, and then like a little targeting computer as well. So if you want to have a gunner stand up and just do that back there, you can, to control these or whatever you want to do. So yeah, that's it for the cockpit. I'd still open down, and instead of making this a storage area for spring-loaded shooters, I added this little cradle for Baby Yoda. It's not the best design. Brick Boy Builder has a really good design for this, so if you want to check that out, go check out his Instagram page, I think it's on. And then there is also the space toilet right there, which you can take out because you can't actually sit a minifigure on that inside of the ship. But I thought that would just be a nice little detail. Well, it looks like part of it doesn't want to come out, but yep, it is still there. And then for this side of the ship, it is pretty much exactly the same as the original Lego version, except I added like a little rail to the side, so that way the Mandalorian can't just like roll out in his sleep. But you can see the stickers are still there and everything. For this side of the ship, I actually changed this this loading bay area, or like doorway, into the weapon rack from the show, where you can see I have 2 little pistols there, a long rifle, and then the Mandalorian's like disintegration rifle or whatever it's called, I'm not quite sure. And then flipping it around to the other side, this side is just the standard entrance that you see in the show. And then for these back panels right here, you can lift this down, and I added just a little bit of tiles right here just to make this design less studded. And then I also removed entirely the supports in the middle of the ship, but it still works completely fine with these supports in the back. You can still lift it up, you can still move it around, and nothing will happen. You can see the carbonite pieces are still in there, and there is like a little backing wall to them now, so that way they don't slide out on the other side, or you can like see them from the other side. And you can use this as a carbon freezing chamber as well if you just want to put a minifigure inside of there. This other side is definitely my favorite because you can open it and you can see there are just a whole lot of accessories right here. You can see there is a little computer computer print. There is the Mandalorian's jetpack. There's the Darksaber. I'm filming this right after episode 4 of season 2 came out, so he doesn't have the Darksaber yet, but I'm sure he'll get it at some point. And this is some like fuel for the jetpack. You can put it on the ends. And then there also is a little speeder right here that you can just lift out, where I just have this figure from the Mandalorian battle pack on it. And you can have her gun on the side right there. There's the engine on the back. It's a very basic little build, and you don't have to include this if you don't want to, but I just thought it'd be a cool little thing because I did have some extra interior room in there. And then finally, you can, oops, did not mean to do that. You can lift down the back of the ship just like you can in the show. And I just have some minifigures back there. I used this jumper plate to attach IG-11, and then I have the Boba Fett suit of armor back there as well. So yeah, that pretty much does it for the interior. That just about does it for all the mods that I did to my Razorcrest. I think I eventually might want to change the engines a little bit, but I'm pretty happy with how it is right now. Especially the cockpit, I just think is the best area of the ship. I really like how I can have 3 minifigures in there, and they're just all the controls like you can see in the show. So I'm pretty proud of how this came out, and I think this is definitely a major improvement on the original Lego set. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Did I do a good job with this mod or not really? I know there are definitely a lot of other mod Razorcrest videos out there, so let me know how I did in comparison to those. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you later. Yasta out.